Buenos noches a todos. Welcoming into the show tonight on the Talkin Kop, where we have a Monday night, and I think actually it's going to be a bit of a rip rolling run through stuff that you mightn't be expecting to talk about of a Monday evening. I think that's the best way to put it. Joining me tonight, fortunately, I've got Davo here and I've got Gav here. I've been practicing that all night, lads. I had like 2 stickers there up just to go like, there's Gav. There's Davo, boom, in the room. And we're going to have a little rundown between what Christmas means from a football point of view. And Davo wants to talk about the Champions League draw because it's really important to Liverpool fans this year. And Gav has another topic that we're going to talk about at the end that I didn't even understand with something to do with Christmas now anyways. And when the music played, I got really disappointed because I still haven't heard Dominic the Donkey once this year.
I'm going
to sing it. I thought it's free at this stage.
No, I don't think it is. I think if I play Dominic the Donkey, I think we'll get done. I'll tell you what, I'll look it up if I can get it and it doesn't copyright the fuck out of me. Yeah, I'll stick Dominic the Donkey on.
I'm gonna at the end of the show. I'm just gonna sing it.
Okay.
You can't get done for copyright if I start singing it.
No,
I did it for enough. I did enough years where I was just robbing songs and using them on the front of the pod, and nobody didn't copyright.
Yeah, but when you put them onto YouTube, Phil, there's like literally millions of people out there just waiting, and they listen to every note on the internet and then go, "Hey, are you?" When the chances are it's from someone that's probably sold €8 worth of iTunes, and they should be happy with it, but they're not.
That's fair enough.
Do you know why they do it? Do you know why they do it though? They do it
to get a reward.
No, they do it because what happens is if you put up, say, Dominic the Donkey, okay, and this fella's made 11 quid in his whole career on Dominic the Donkey, he gets the money we make off this video. So if you have thousands and thousands of views, he's making a few quid off it for doing nothing, just for complaining.
They'd make an awful lot of money off this one with the millions of views that we get on a nightly basis.
Millions.
Yeah,
like
millions.
he could literally feed his whole family for all of the Christmases out of it. So there you go.
That's Dominic the Donkey. I just hang on a second. I'm really annoyed with this.
He's gone.
Who is Dominic the Donkey? Never heard of him.
The theme tune they used to play at Christmas on the podcast.
No, doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't it?
No.
Davo, you remember it's like jiggity jig, it's Dominic the donkey, a jiggity jig, the Italian Christmas donkey, la 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 la.
No, you do.
He's got a little friend. His name is Dominic. The cutest little donkey. You'll never see him kick. When Santa visits,
you said you'd sing it at the end.
Dominic you be, because the reindeer cannot climb the hills of Italy. Hey, jiggity jig.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah. I'm delighted now. I'm ready for a Christmas spirit. Right, lads.
I hope we get copyrighted. I feel bad making any sort of money off this.
You won't get copyrighted for that.
It's Lou Monty. It's a classic. It's a Lou Monty classic. Davo, let's get rocking and rolling. Champions League draw. You were big into it today. You were sitting there with your phone, refreshing.
I wasn't really, to be honest. I'm refreshing.
I didn't know it was on.
Yeah, like Gav says, pick a topic. I says, I'll pick that, and then when the music hit there, I was like, I don't even know what I want to say about this draw. Just that was a bit shit. Like Man City drew Copenhagen. Surprise, surprise. Like, they drew Margate last year in the last 16. The year before that, they drew fucking...
Put that cross Saturday side.
Yeah, Accrington fucking Stanley. There's no... Like, listen, we're over this year, like, and I know we've probably had years where we've got a decent enough last 16 draw, but, like, there's no jeopardy in any of them, really. There's Barcelona and Napoli. Bit of jeopardy in that one. I'd say Napoli will go through. The rest of them are all like fucking nailed on. Fucking the
I have to say that Gav sent it to me because I paid. No, I wasn't paying any attention. Didn't even know the draw was on today, right?
Either did I.
I knew it was on, but I wasn't following it. Only Dicko texted in going, City got fucking Copenhagen. I was like, well, I'm shocked at that, right?
I was shocked at that. With the exception of Real Madrid, that could have been the Europa League Cup Winners' Cup last year, or whatever it is. It's like it's just a bunch of nobodies, with the exception of Real Madrid. Look, it is, I've never seen a bunch of nobodies in, like, these aren't Champions League royalty teams that are in that competition.
But it's only going to get worse.
It's awful.
It's only going to
like
get
it's
worse with this
fucking like
coefficient thing where 5 from a certain country.
coefficient and all that. Like Arsenal will beat Porto, PSG will beat Sociedad, Inter will beat Atletico, Dortmund will beat PSV, Bayern will beat Lazio, City will obviously win, and Madrid will beat Leipzig. And like that'll be it. That'll be it. And
Oh no,
fucking
Bayern Munich's there. I didn't know Bayern Munich was there. Bayern Munich's there, so
Bayern Munich are there. Yeah, I forgot Lazio even got out of that Celtic group because I watched them against Celtic and they were fucking deplorable, Lazio.
So you telling me that after Lucas left Lazio that they suddenly qualify for the Champions League and they're now
Yeah, they're going to win it.
stages?
Yeah, but here, Phil, like the group they were in was like a fucking Conference League group. Celtic, fucking who else was in a Feyenoord, Celtic, and Atletico Madrid and Lazio.
Yeah.
It was
Sociedad. Is that who Xabi Alonso was managing last season?
He was managing that B team a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He's with Leverkusen now.
They topped that group. They topped that group.
Yeah.
Against Inter. But yeah, like I said, it's very professional here. I said I'd pick this topic and I just think the draw was a bit shit. The Europa League one, a bit shit as well.
Was that done as well?
That was done as well. No, not for us, not for Liverpool.
I know that.
Yeah, that was done as well. And I think there's Marseille might have a shout of getting through against who was it? Marseille. Look, there it is. Marseille and Shakhtar, right? So it's obviously the teams that finished third, right? So Feyenoord play Roma. Roma are the Europa League team there. Feyenoord were the Champions League team. Bit of jeopardy in that one. Young boys with the Champions League team, they've dropped out. They got Sporting Lisbon. Probably a bit of jeopardy in that one. And Shakhtar with the Champions League team, they got Marseille. They'll probably beat Marseille. The rest of them are all going to be fucking absolutely probably nailed onto the Champions League team. Got through. Milan, Rennes, Lens, Freiburg, Benfica, Toulouse, Braga, Karabakh, Galatasaray, Sparta Prague. So, like, very little jeopardy, like. So,
but what's like, shit, like. Is it? Are you coming from this at the angle, Davo, that like the teams in it are just poor, or the format should be changed?
I think we should go back to like. Do you remember years ago in the European Cup, where like Liverpool could draw at Lone Town and beat them fucking 14-1 on aggregate? Just go back to that. Just go back to straight knockout. Yeah, it'd be great.
They'll never do that for TV.
If you think that's if you think this year's bad, just think about next year. 20 games in a league format that you're playing random teams that are being selected by a computer. From anywhere in Europe and Saudi Arabia, whatever team the Ronaldo's on Saudi Arabia, they're getting in as well. And then there's 2 extra teams going in just for the crack. Whoever's good in it this year gets 2 extra teams.
And you putting it into like 2 leagues of 20, and you play like fucking
8 games.
It's just, I thought it was. It's just one league table, but you're seeded within that.
Yeah. So what happens is you end up playing. Like something like it's a league table of like 40 teams, right?
Yeah. You have 8 games. You have 8 games.
Yeah, so you have 8 games, and what happens at the end of the 8 games?
Well, the top 8 are the group winners, right? And I think the next 48 teams play off against one another to try and get in.
A half each.
Yeah, no, because I thought it was 2 leagues of 20, and what they were going to do was they're going to go, right, listen. There's 10 seeds and 10 non-seeds in each side, and you play like fucking. I think it was something like 5 of the teams in your division, and then 3 of the teams in the other division, and it's random.
No.
So basically, there's 40 teams going into this in a league. They're going to make up. They're just going to. It's basically the same thing. They're just putting it in one big league rather than groups.
Yeah.
It's one big league.
And then they're going to go. Then they're going to go right. The top 8 you're through, and then the next 8.
No. It's the next 16 play off against each other in like a 2-legged joke to try and get into it. So whoever comes through goes into the last 16.
So the top 8 go in, and then the next from 9 to 24 play against each other.
Yeah.
In a 2-legged thing to get the next 8. Why don't they just go? Listen, you're getting 4 home games, 4 away games, right? Everyone's doing that, and the top 16 go through. And then we've got an open draw.
Come here. The 12 teams that miss out, they then go into the Europa League,
which is being expanded because of this.
Yeah. They have to accommodate the 12 extra teams.
Off the bleeding mallet, isn't it?
It's like
your open draw idea is much better, Gav. See them 16 teams, just bang all them into a hat and go fucking that's it now. No seeds, no nothing.
Well, I don't mind. You see, when you come out of a group, if you finish top, I think you deserve to get seeded, right? I get that. But what I'm saying is, when you're in a league where they've already handpicked the fixtures for you, really. So if it's 36 teams, Aidan says, right? So 36 teams. So you're going to have. Are you going to have 18 seeds and 18 non-seeds?
No, top 8, 16. Yeah. That's your 24. Your 16 play off against each other to get your top 16 in your.
I'm trying to work out.
No, it's worked out. It's like it's obviously chopped into like if you've 36 teams.
It's 4 groups of 9, and there's
basically basically, and you'll have to play like 2 out of each or whatever.
Just leave the groups where they were.
Yeah. But they want more. They want more games.
It's because it's 9 groups. That's what it is.
This guarantees every team in the Champions League now 10 games, right? Because you play your 8 games in the league bit, right? Then you'll get into a knockout stage, which guarantees you 2 games. So you either get the knockout. You're either in the last 16 as the top 8. You're either playing to get into the last 16, which is the round of not 24 but 12. And then the 12 who get knocked into the Europa League, they get a guaranteed other 2 games. So you're guaranteed 10 European games. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because it's not a case of guaranteeing games. Like this is why this idea that this knocked out, this was a better idea than the European Super League is madness. At least with the European Super League, it was just going to be a league that went on during the season midweek, right? And you got to the end and they're going to have, I think, weren't they going to have like just basically a playoff at the end where it was the top 4 played off against each other to see
the top 4 would be literally first against fourth, second against third, and 2 legs, and then into a final. I think that's
into a final, which would have been a brilliant competition because it would have meant that. And then I know they said there wasn't at the time, but then they were saying, well, they were open maybe to some type of relegation and thing, but you'd have like the second tier of the competition, which would have teams trying to get into that top tier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that to me was always like that makes sense.
I know aren't they talking about a 4th European competition now?
Well. Isn't there and Liverpool not in it the first year of this fucking World Club Cup? Thank fucking Jesus we didn't qualify for it. Currently, we're not in the first year of it. 2025 is it, Phil? Something like that. I think it's Chelsea and City, isn't it? It's Chelsea
and it's in Saudi Arabia as well. They have 16 teams in the 12-team competition, so it's they should have all the teams.
2025 World Club Cup is being made up of teams that have won Champions Leagues 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. And Liverpool aren't in it. United aren't in it. I think it's just City and Chelsea. I think Arsenal are in it if they win the Champions League this year. Arsenal will go into it, but if they don't, they won't. And that's all kind of fucking madness, isn't it? That's all.
You also have to be sponsored by an Emirati airline to qualify. So Arsenal will qualify on the basis they've Emirates, right? And that's how it works. So there's nothing funny at all going on there. Just like there's nothing funny in that draw today, Davo, that City got Copenhagen. And then City's FA Cup draw, they managed to play against their own reserve side in the next round of the FA Cup.
I know, like, I understand where, like, they want to make money out of this, right? So you have to look at it on this side. They want to make money from it. So the whole idea of having groups and different groups on different days and different weeks, they alternate the weeks and all this sort of stuff in order to get as much as you can on telly. I completely get that, right? But going from 8 groups of 4, right, to a league of 36, you'd actually be better off going, listen, tell you what we're doing. There's 36 teams in it. There's going to be 18 ties. And what we're going to do is we're going to put 7 ties on, or 6 ties on this week, Tuesday, 6 ties the following day, and 6 the following week. There's your 18 ties knockout. We'll see them. Don't worry about it. We'll see them. And what happens is then, if you're a seed and you go through, right, and all the top seeds go through, then it's just straight in and you just dwindle them down. And you'd be better off saying to clubs, listen, you're going into this, you might get knocked out after 2 games, but here's 20 million quid. There's 20 million quid. You might get knocked out after 2. You know what I mean? And at least it becomes, because this is starting to become a farce. Like,
Well, someone said in the comments there, something has to give, probably the League Cup. I'd rather the fucking FA Cup had to give and we keep the fucking
but
League Cup for fuck's
the
sake.
problem is that Brian says that the problem is that the FA Cup doesn't start till January, and this all goes on from mid-September.
Yeah.
So I just think it's mad. And when you look at that draw today, that's where it is. And in fairness, it's not the new format. It's what's happened around Europe last year with teams getting in and getting qualified. So, you can only work with what the hand you're dealt, and that's the hand that they've been dealt in the Champions League this season, and what's come out of it. But you start to look at it and you start to go, Jesus Christ, there's an awful lot of good teams missing out with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like when you look at it, there's no like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. That's probably, you could say, Barcelona because of the recent history, if you know what I mean, with during the Messi era. But after that, lads, there's no real pedigree in that competition. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got all the fake money in PSG and City that's there. Like we know it's all fake money, and then you've got, like, obviously Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid have gone close on a number of occasions, but have never been able to get across the line. But the real pedigree is that Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I said you might.
Club Cup is being held in the USA.
Yeah, but come here. When has facts ever played a part in this show?
Oh yeah, sorry, I just read it there. Sorry. Sorry, I do realise, we started off with a rendition of Dominic the Donkey. It's just Kev said, it's been held in the USA. Why did you just make that up, Phil? Why did you lie to me?
No, just because
it's in Saudi Arabia. Everything's in Saudi Arabia.
Everything's in Saudi Arabia. They're building a massive wall that's going to house 1 billion people inside the wall that goes from one side of the country to the other side of the country in a huge wall that's glass on the outside and glass on the other side, so it'll look like it's invisible. What's the point? Do you know what I mean?
But you know what? Maybe we're feeding into this narrative a bit, Davo, like where, when this stuff comes out, we kind of go, they're just trying to get all the bleeding teams in there to make sure that they have to get the money. Maybe we're feeding into that because we're sitting here going, that's a shite draw. Like, that's fucking, I wouldn't be watching any of that. Whereas if you actually go on what you think UEFA and stuff are trying to do, is they're trying to get all the best teams into it, regardless. Finish 6th in your league, doesn't matter. We found a spot for you. Do you know what I mean?
Well, listen, it was like that, all the jumping up and down about the Super League, and you still see fans talking, Everton fans were going big in it. Everton fans were going big in it there. They tried to break away from the fucking league and they didn't get punished. Well, the 16th didn't try and break away from the league. Like Phil said, it would have just been a league thing running concurrently like the Champions League does. But like everyone, it's same with the golf, Gav. Like the PGA aren't the good guys, UEFA aren't the good guys. It's basically a Super League now, especially this year. If United hadn't been so fucking septic and finished bottom of that group, it was absolutely nailed on that the English League will get a 5th place. So that's on your coefficient this year. So it's a bit touch and go because United finished bottom of the group. And
I think Liverpool will have to win the Europa League in order to get the coefficient back.
But come here. See, Liverpool's probability.
City go far in the Champions League, but
no, I think it'll actually depend on Liverpool.
It's as good as a fucking Super League. This thing, just a Super League, all but in name.
Yeah,
but it's not a Super League because it's a shit league. It should be called a Super Shit League because they forgot to put the Super part into the Super League. But that's what
they're trying to do, and we'll give out about that as well. In fairness, like when they actually get it on their own way and go, listen, when it comes down to England, we want City, we want Arsenal, we want Liverpool, we want United and Chelsea, and that's who we're going to get in every year regardless. We'll all give out going, they're all just getting that in, like, the sort of way.
But Gav, they're going to get Aston Villa, Liverpool, Arsenal, and then it's going to be a toss-up at the moment because City are flogged to bits, right, at this stage. This is like us last year when
they're off to playing the World Club Cup now as well. Over the Christmas. So
I think we play 3 games before they play another match. Right now, what annoys me about is the last time that this happened, I think, was 08-09, and we had a great chance to put about 56 million points between ourselves and United, and we ended up drawing, I think, every single game in the interim, and it didn't happen.
We had less points when they came back. We had less points.
Reversed. We drew at Wigan, and they took points away for us. They said, "Nah, that's not happening." But I
only
look
won
at
by
it,
one. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I look at it, and as I said to you, the issue for me, and it sort of leads into my topic, which is, I think that, and it leads in from observing yesterday's game and looking at what's going on, is that your product gets substantially poorer when you continue to flog the same players over and over and over and over and over, right? So I'm not like, I look at it now, and you think about this: there's 6 games in the current Champions League group stage, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be 8 games plus another 2, which is 10,
Mm-hmm.
right? So either the Super League bit won't be finished before Christmas, or they're going to throw another 2 games into the December period that isn't there at this moment in time, so that they can do all the knockouty bits from the middle of January, February to fit in with the sort of timeline that they have already, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the current state of affairs, particularly with English football, because they've been so backward when it comes to when you should do a winter break and how much football you should play over the Christmas time. And they think, for some bizarre English reason, they think, let's play as many games as possible in the shortest window as possible, and then we'll give out that the quality of football isn't that great. And I'm talking about fans as well. Look at the reaction to the draw yesterday is like this ferocious, everyone is crap, dump everyone out of the dump everyone out of the a balloon in the sky and then fire them into the moon, right? Because they're all terrible, and it's, look how brutal they are. They can't play football anymore. They're all rubbish. But in reality, these fellas are being flogged, right? We've had 17 international breaks in September. All the lads went off and played them, right?
Yeah.
We've had, injuries are starting to crop up for every team. And I'm not just talking about Liverpool. I'm talking about every team across the Premier League at this stage. Look at United yesterday. I think United were absolutely atrocious yesterday. I never thought at one stage that it looked like we weren't going to get points, right? I'm just talking about points. I'm not talking about win or whatever it was. And we should have won the game. And I still think we should have. But then I looked at us, played Thursday night. Even though he rested players, they still played Thursday night. That was about they've been playing Thursday night now for about 8 months in a row, and then playing at 12:30 on a Saturday. And then you're just looking at players gradually. The fatigue is starting to creep in, and you're seeing results as a result of the fatigue. I've been impressed with Arsenal that they've managed to find ways to win in the same way we've found ways to win. I think this is a huge game that we face into at the weekend. But there's no quality. The lack of quality in the football being played at the moment is incredible, right? It's not like the mid-90s or even the mid-noughties where the pace of the game is slower. Go back and watch those games. The pace of the game is so quick these days, and the players expect to play so quick that when you flog players, you lose that quality out of the game, and the games become tortured. Like, my biggest complaint, my biggest thing that I've been saying for weeks, is that with McAllister out of that team, they're trying to ram Trent in to control the pace and the tempo of the midfield all the time. And I don't think he's particularly good. I think he's a brilliant creator. I think he's a brilliant footballer, but I don't think he's a great tempo controller. Like, that's where, with McAllister out, that's where Thiago, you ideally you'd have Thiago to sit in and be able to pull the strings in the same way. But again, flogging lads. McAllister's done about 19 trips and those 17 international breaks back and forward to Argentina, like basically doing doggies back and forward to Argentina every 3 weeks to play international matches, up mountains, down mountains, in the sea, under the sea, on a volcano, wherever they want them to be. Then you look at the rest of the team, and it's the same thing. I've a pain in my arse with this. Like, if football has revolutionised and modernised so much when it comes to fitness and nutrition, but the English League is so stuck in this 1900s view of the way Christmas should be.
Yeah, but you see, it's the extra domestic cup we have. It's the problem.
Yeah,
you know. Now, Carl says there all teams are being flogged, so bar the bottom
I agree.
half. It's
I think it's brutal.
I don't think, Carl. I don't think the point Phil is making is about it being level playing field or not. Like, Phil didn't, and I know this for a fact. Phil didn't come up with this because Liverpool drew yesterday. Phil actually wanted to talk about this 2 weeks ago, and we didn't get a chance because Pete decided that all the Liverpool players were shy, and it was amazing. But you see, the thing is, like, and to be fair, right, this period we've had hasn't been great. But when you look at Liverpool, just taking Liverpool as an example, right, someone's playing on Christmas Eve, by the way, which is a shambles.
Chelsea and Wolves,
right? Disgrace, right? Wolves had to travel from the Midlands down to Chelsea on Christmas Eve. Not only players, but the fans and everything else, right? Because you don't give a fuck. But when you look at Liverpool play on the 23rd, they play on the 26th, and then they don't play till the 1st, which In fairness,
we've actually got that's a
really good break we end up with, because I remember,
yeah.
I can definitely remember Liverpool playing 26th, 29th first. 100% I've seen Liverpool playing on the 26th, the 29th and the 1st. 3 games in 6 days, right? And you'd be going, what is going on? I agree with you. There's too many games. And I agree with you on the Premier League. But you're never going to get away with this, right? They're actually putting a break in from the 6th of January to the 20th of January, right? Okay? Liverpool have a break from the 6th to the 20th. I don't know if all other teams have. But when it comes down to it, they're making it impossible for themselves to fit in all the games. One, because of these 3 international breaks. You have the League Cup thrown in there. You have teams in Europe. Then you have teams in Europe on a Thursday, so you have to play on a Sunday. Then you're trying to get the odd league game in during the week. The quality does suffer. The quality absolutely suffers. But they're never going to change, I feel, because I would say one of their biggest money makers is the ads they sell at Christmas when everybody's watching fucking football. And it's probably their biggest, bar the end of the season, when our first day of the season or last day of the season, if there's something on it. I would say those Christmas periods, whether it's the 23rd, Stevens' / Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, 2nd of January, I'd say they get phenomenal amount of views there, phenomenal amount of people taking up to watch it, and they're never going to change for it. It's again, we can moan about quality all we want, but next year all these games will be on and people will be all watching them, and they'll be all saying they're shy, but at Christmas 24 people will still be watching it, and Christmas 25 they'll still be fucking watching it, because that's what you're actually,
I know.
I'm
not saying.
Sorry, Wolves are at home. Chelsea have to go from London to the Midland. Either way, it doesn't matter. Asking fans to travel on Christmas Eve is a joke.
Gav, I'm not saying they're going to change. I know. I didn't park my brain at the door and think it was going to happen. Right. My point is, I struggle to retain an interest across the Christmas period because I just think it's absolutely pointless. I said it about 3 weeks ago on this, that this is. You just don't want to kill yourself in this period in terms of a league run or whatever it is, right? And the only games you really need to concentrate, it's not the United game and it's not the Arsenal game. It's the games against teams that you can't afford to drop points. So the ones that we've just come through, the Brentfords, the West Hams, the Sheffield Uniteds, the Lutons, the Fulhams, the Crystal Palaces, getting the wins there and putting the 3 points on the board that you need to put on. And it doesn't matter how you play in those games. But if this was more sensibly thought out, right, and you weren't flogging players, there should be no, Davo, I actually agree with you. I think the League Cup is grand, right? But having 2 domestic cups, most top leagues in Europe have 1 domestic cup and 1 league, right? That's fine. But I've long said on this, domestic cups are dead for what I believe is the force. I genuinely think the League Cup should be turned into an under 23s and down, and you're allowed to play 2 or 3 non-under 23 players, right? So the focus is on the bigger squad, particularly for the European team. So it's just like, that's it. That's how you blood in your younger players and give them games and all that type of stuff. And potentially do the same with the FA Cup. And if you're in Europe, that's now, I'm not skipping ahead to your topic, but like that, if you're in Europe, that's how the domestic cups are run, and that's how they're played, and it becomes a breeding game for these younger players that we don't get to see on a regular basis, or they have to go out on loan, and they get to play more games that way and become part of the teams that's in it. But I just, from my point of view, I just don't see how you can expect the teams to continue to be in the top echelons of these competitions while flogging them on at the same time and letting the players go to wherever it is, Uzbekistan, Chile, Patagonia, Antarctica, Pluto, to play international matches when nobody, and I mean nobody. I saw a thing earlier on Threads, and it was like, why can't Luis Diaz do this in Liverpool jersey? This is only a month to go for Colombia. And I felt like screaming, going, it's international football. It doesn't matter. Of course he's doing it because the fellas he's playing against are absolutely pants. Right, in the vast majority of instances, they're pants. He was probably playing against Peru or something, and they've got the equivalent of a League of Ireland defence playing in front of them. It's you can't. It's like saying, why can't an apple be an orange? Because it can't, because it's an apple. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like for like.
I'm like it's. I'm just looking there at the supposed break that they're giving people, right? And there's actually a set of games. Like, so if you look at it, there's a set of games coming up on between the 24th, 22nd, and 23rd and 24th.
Midweek, isn't it?
There's a set of games, yeah, right.
We've Chelsea, have we? Yeah.
No, no, like just coming up with the Christmas here now, right? From the Thursday,
sorry.
this Thursday through to Sunday the 24th, there's a full program of games. One game Thursday, one game Friday, one game on the Sunday, and the other 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, on that date, right? Then the next set starts on the 26th and goes 26, 27, 28. Then the next set starts on the 30th, the 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd, right? And then you think, right, there's a break. Now, there's no break because on the 6th is the FA Cup weekend, right? And then on the 13th, it all starts back again. 13th, 14th, 15th, and then the 20th and 21st. So
there is no break. So there's no break.
They're staggering the break. Liverpool will get a break from the 6th to the 20th. Do you get me?
Right, okay,
Liverpool will end up with they all end up with a 2-week break. But instead of going, listen, there's no football. There's no football on this date from the 6th on the FA Cup weekend to the 20th. That's not the case. They're actually playing games on the 13th to 14th. Yeah. So they're actually getting teams to play on New Year's Day and then play an FA Cup game and then don't have a game till they have a week off, basically. Yeah. Liverpool will play on the 1st, they'll play on the 6th, and then they play on the 20th. I think they've 2 weeks off, Liverpool have. And realistically, teams have 2 weeks off. But I'm looking here, right? And if you actually take, I'm trying to see someone that's playing fairly early, right? Chelsea, right? Now, Chelsea will play on, I'm trying to see where Chelsea will play because it looks to me like are some getting a fucking bad deal here. Like Chelsea play this Tuesday, they play on the 24th, the 27th, and the 30th. Right? Okay? Then they play on the 6th, and then they're back into the league on the 13th.
Yeah, so they are getting a fucking. Yeah. So they
get the 14th, but then they get 2 weeks off to the 31st.
And do we play them then? Is that a midweek?
Yeah.
So, it's a midweek. I knew we had them late.
So the thing is like,
so it's staggered.
They're staggering the breaks across, so they're not even putting a full break in. No, they're literally going, listen, we're going to give everyone 2 weeks off, but there's no way we're not having football every week.
No, exactly. So that's exactly what you two were saying earlier. That it's just like they have to get games on, like you were saying, they have to get games on the telly. Like that's fucking the TV companies are paying the bills. Like yesterday was the 4th 0-0 draw all season only. The 4th. In 7-day match weeks. Now, it's being put down. Obviously, there's a lot more at a time. There's like you're getting 10, 12, 14 minutes at the end of games. But it's also being attributed to like the fatigue because the accumulation, not only this year, but there was a World Cup last year that fucking stuck in the middle of the bleeding season. Had you run all the way through, then you've obviously your break for pre-season and you're straight back into it again with all these matches as well. So only 4-0 draws in 7-day match weeks.
Yeah, but the thing is, Emmett says there, don't forget then that the AFCON is on during the winter break and the Asia Cup too. So what's happening is, instead of going, listen, there's 2 weeks we're not playing football. We're now going to decide when you play games, and you're going to have teams that will be missing players for the AFCON, right? Playing games of football while the AFCON is on against teams that won't miss them, and then the next week somebody will be missing for the Asia Cup. And these teams won't. So if it actually falls a certain way, you could end up with your players in the team. Because if they go out the AFCON early or whatever way, I'm not too sure on the dates. But again, it's not. And I'm not even going in on the fairness thing here because, look, we're so used to it at this stage, and the bigger clubs with the bigger squads and ever. But still, in if you were to look genuinely at how even can we make this, they should have just went, listen, there's a full set of games on the 23rd. There's a full load of games on the 27th. And there's a full load of games on the 1st. We're playing the FA Cup the following week. And we see us all on the 20th.
They can't, because if we get into the semis... Come here, Gav. If we get into the semis of the League Cup, you're playing on the 8th and the 21st. Or the 8th and the something. It's in the middle of that break.
Yeah. So if we beat West Ham, we're going to actually play after the Arsenal game. We're going to play another game in the break that we're meant to have. Yeah, so the break is only there just to allow for you to come back and play more games. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if City come back from that World Club Cup and go, are we on our break? No. You missed 2 league games while you're away. Here, there's a fucking 2-week break. You're playing Wednesday, Saturday. Do you know what I mean?
But the teams they're playing against are on their break, so they're not allowed to turn up. So they just get walkovers. That's how it's going.
3-0 wins.
It's 3-0 wins. Yeah.
I just thought. Listen, I'm actually. If you look at, I'm sure if you went through every club, you kind of go right. It's not too bad there. Like 24, 27, 30 for Chelsea seems a bit extreme, to where we're doing 22, 26 forced. You know what I mean? And sometimes it falls well for you, sometimes it doesn't. I remember us going to, someone said it in the chat, I remember us going to Man City on, I think, the 29th of December one year, and going to Chelsea 2 days later. Do you know what I mean? Or 3 days later. It might be in 18.
No, we played. It wasn't last season. Our first game back after the World Cup was like Christmas week against City in the League Cup, and obviously then we played on fucking Stevens' Day as well.
No, we came back. We came back from the World Club Cup on the 21st of December.
After the World Cup last year.
The World Cup, yeah. The World Club Cup, I remember.
Do you remember we played the 2 matches on the same
24
day?
hours,
yeah. It was great.
Away to Villa in the League Cup quarter final, and then we played Montserrat, I think, in the World Club Cup. Then we won
in Japan.
Yeah, then we won it, and in Qatar, and then we won it, and. We came home on the 21st, and we had to go and play on the 26th against Leicester, and then Wolves, I think, on the 28th or 29th, and then someone else. But like, at the end of the day, look, both of these things kind of tie into each other, right? The whole setup of the Champions League and European football, and merge that with international football, which is a bleeding farce, right? And the Premier League, when you mix them all together, what's the common denominator? TV and money. That's it.
TV and money. But something's going to happen. At some point, the players are just going to say, we're not doing it. Right? And until the players stand up and say, we're not playing these games, nothing will happen. Because Klopp can flog all the dead horses he wants in the media. He's still going to put his team out. He still chooses the teams that he wants to put out there. And he never goes with just an absolute farce of a team. Right? You know the way sometimes Ferguson used to do at United, where he'd stick out a load of lads he found just playing and having a kick about in the pitch just outside, and just saying that they'll do. Remember, like, there was all like Clebersons and all these lads that they used to just put out, Jemba and the twin fellas that he used to just play for the laugh in these cups that never played otherwise. And that's what I think. Sometimes you have to disrespect the trophies because they're pointless. They're utterly pointless.
Yeah, but you see, I don't think clubs can ever be accused of disrespecting the competitions, because let's be honest about it. The Football League, in their wisdom, decided that Liverpool Football Club are going away to play in a World Club Cup and went, we don't care. We want you to play in the League Cup here now on Tuesday night, but we're in Qatar. Well, we don't care you're in Qatar. So what we're going to do is we're going to deface our competition. Because and they tried to blame it on Liverpool, but Liverpool were going, we're in the World Club Cup. We're in the fucking World Club Cup. The team that won the Champions League has to travel to this because we've won it. And we're going to have to send all our under 18-year-olds. And next of all, it was Liverpool's fault. I was like, lads, could you not have done something here? Could you not have done something here? No, fuck it. And that's the end of it. You're playing on the 20th of December or the 18th or 15th of December, and we don't care. That's it. Done.
It's going to require, I'm telling you, it's going to require the FIFA players or whatever they're called.
FIFA Pro, yeah.
FIFA Pro. They'll eventually, they'll grow up here and stand up and take control of what, because ultimately, without the players, there's no game. There's no television, there's no spectacle, there's no interest, right? And they're the ones who, and they don't realise the power that they have. They genuinely, at the moment, it's too much greed. All you have to do is look at the Saudi Arabia thing. It's greed, right? Eventually, though, they'll see that they'll lose more money by being flogged and being finished at 25, 26, 27 as top-end players than the length of the career that the players that came before them had. We're in that sort of spell where that's just before that happens, because there wasn't 65 games a season 15 years ago. There wasn't, like, what you're looking at a 70-game season becoming the norm with this madness of a Champions League, plus the international breaks where they're just randomly putting stuff in, and nobody's even interested. Nobody's just interested in international football. I hate breaking this out, but nobody is interested in international football.
Nobody gives a shit until it comes to World Cup or Euros. That's it.
Yeah.
Copa America, if you're into South American stuff like Keith and stuff is. But other than that, nobody cares. And you see, you could even argue and say, right, listen, and we've spoken about this loads before. Let's just decide, right, listen, we're going to make these groups smaller. Mm-hmm. It's going to be every group is going to have 4 teams in it. You're going to play 6 games, and what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 international breaks, right? 1 in October and 1 in February, and you're going to play 3 games there and 3 games there, and that 2 weeks off for each, 3 and 3, and whoever comes over comes over. But the problem there is that you end up spreading all the better teams. It could end up in groups with each other, and you don't end up with what you want in a World Cup. You'd be better off making it a fucking invitation tournament now and saying, right, listen, the top 20 in the world go in. As of this date, whoever's in the top 20 is in, and then we're going to have a one-off fucking 4 weeks where the rest is fucking qualified. That's where it's going to go. It's the only way to help players.
Now, I think they should have this a 36 league, 36 team international team league, right? And you play 8 matches. And then what happens is at the end of it, right? The top 8 go into the last 16, and the other 16 before you get to the 24, they actually play off against each other to go into the last 16, and that would be great. And
you know what, Phil? They're probably fucking thinking of it.
I know, yeah.
But that's they're actually thinking.
Sorry, they're talking about expanding. No, they have expanded the World Cup from 32 to 48 teams. Right, so the big groups are going to be bigger and it's going to be longer. And
then they're having another World Cup somewhere where they're going to host a couple of games in fucking Uruguay, because Uruguay had the first World Cup.
Yeah, but you know what they want to do, I think, as well, is they want to expand. What's the name of them fucking stupid things that aren't friendlies anymore? The Nations League.
Yeah,
they've done it. Haven't the UEFA done a deal with CONMEBOL for the South Americans to come over and fucking get involved in that? Yeah, because they can't.
What's the point?
These nation leagues things are meant to be a way of you earning a rank to qualify for something, right? So basically what they're doing is they're saying to you, listen, see all these friendlies, we're going to call it the Nations League, and if you win in them, you get a better ranking to go into the thing. Instead of just going, listen, you're 100th in the world, you're fucking brutal, you're going into a group of 5 and you're going to get hockeyed, because that's the way it goes. And the funny thing is, if you actually went to all these FAs and went, listen, that's how it works, but there's 10 million quid, they'd all just say okay, because they know they've no chance anyway. Do you know what I mean? And people go on about, it has to be fair. It's not fair as it is. San Marino going out and getting hopped off every fucking week. Andorra getting hopped off every fucking game. There's no point to it. Do you know what they'd be better off doing? They'd be better off going, listen, tell you what, and I mean this, top 20, so say the World Cup's in June 20, whatever, right, 2026. When you get to June 2025, to go, top 20, yous are all in next season. Right? And what we're going to do is we're going to have the next whatever amount of teams, block them out, and you're going to have knockout, bum, 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 and whoever goes through, goes through. End of story. And if you want to bring these smaller FAs into it, by all means, just let them have their own thing over here. And if you get 2 or 3 over and put them into the World Cup and see what happens. But all they want is their top clubs, right? And their top countries in their competitions and being on the telly 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Because even if you take international breaks out, you're going to have to do it in the summertime when there's no summer competitions on. And that means then the players finish at the end of May. They'll be finished at the fucking end of June in their international stuff. And Liverpool will be going, here, it's the 1st of July, pre-season friendly training, and you're right.
What's it, 2028? Or 2032, we have another Winter World Cup to look forward to in Saudi Arabia, in the massive wall that they're building from one end of the country to the other end of the country, because the Saudi Arabians definitely didn't pay off FIFA in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. So I won't have that said about FIFA. They're good, honourable people who only do the right thing for the game, the right thing for football, and the right thing for people as a whole, because they're wholesome, proven to be a wholesome, reformed organisation from top to bottom since the evil of Sepp Blatter was rooted out and moved aside, and it's been run in
the
very
FIFA documentaries that were on Netflix were bleeding.
No, not having a Gav.
Mad. Your man, what was his name? Haviland, absolute mad.
Joe Haviland.
Emma Kavanagh says, soon we'll have European Conference Championships and the World Conference Cup soon for the smaller nations. Just do that. Because you're basically...
Could we not put them in the World Games?
But you're telling countries, look, you won't make it to the World Cup. You're not going to make it to the Euros. Can we not just do a second tier a shield, a World Cup shield rather than a World Cup, and just do it like that. At least they're getting tournament stuff, and they get them all on the telly, and they get people to watch them.
I think what we need to put the teams into the World Games, but we'll have 4 goals on the pitch and 4 teams on the pitch at one time and 2 balls. Right?
Like what's that game you press? Hungry Hippo.
Yeah, and it'd be like a cross pattern.
Yeah.
Right, of the pitches go across each other, and you get 2 goals for scoring the goal you should do, and 1 goal for the goal that you're scoring against the team that you shouldn't be playing against. Right.
Yeah. All right.
So if you score to the sides this way, you're going to get 1 goal. Right.
Wait, if you go this way,
you get 2 goals. So on that basis, Gav, you want to bring in the Christmas rules?
Yeah. So I want to lighten the mood a little bit. So I want to bring in some Christmas rules. So I need audience participation here. So while I'm telling you about a couple of rules I have, please put some rules in there. And I'm talking, the games start on the 21st for the festive period, as they call it, the 21st up until the 2nd of January. So what I'm talking about is every team plays 3 times during that. I want some rules that just come in, not like the yellow ball comes in October. Mm-hmm. I want rules brought in for just these set of games for a bit of crack, right? So my biggest thing is, when a player gets sent off, that's Christmas off for him. Right, Ian Basuma is probably the one there. That's the lad, isn't it? Who tried to bleed and take a man's leg off for Forest, right? I think he's getting a 4-game ban. I don't think he should be allowed to just go, I have a 4-game ban. Listen, best of luck with the 3 games, boys. I'm going home to me kids, right? I think he should be like a ball boy, right? Or he should be like, he should be made for up the nets. No, I want him to do something where he can be seen to be doing it. I don't want something where, listen, you're sweeping the stands now for this, because no one knows if he swept the stands. No one's going to wait around. So I think Ian Basuma should be a ball boy, but not at Spurs, right? I think he should be a ball boy at Arsenal for the 3 games that he's off, and they should have like the player cam. Yeah, there should be the player cam on him, so when he goes to get the ball, right? And like, no matter where it goes out on the pitch, he has to try run around and get it. Like, he can't just marshal the corner or behind the goal and stuff like that. So that's the first thing, right? They should pull crackers at the start of the game to see who gets. Yeah, instead of tossing the coin, just pull the cracker. Whoever gets the biggest end of the cracker, gets to choose it all. None of this style of this end and tip off. I get everything, right? They get the tip, they get the fucking whatever end they want, right? The whole lot. That's another thing I'd like to see come in for the Christmas. Right now, certain parts of the goal at Christmas, if you score in it, you get extra. Right? You get extra. Right? So what I'm saying is, or you can bank stuff. So certain parts of the net would have, the way they can do sensors and all, like the ball is over the line and all. Certain parts of the net could have sensors on them.
Where
if it hits that sort of net, you get the goal, but you bank a penalty for the end in case you need it. Right? You can bank a penalty and stuff like that. I want this to come in. I want Christmas to be
do you know what? Do you know what we have? I was watching a clip there fucking a while ago there, and it was Vinnie Jones playing in goal for Wimbledon at Newcastle. Now, I think if you have 3 games, right, I had 2 ideas, but I think if you have 3 games, right, and for one of them games, every club has to nominate, there's an outfield player going to go for one of them games.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into the hat. It's like a poor spin boxing. You're just opening up and going, right, Liverpool have chosen the 3rd game in Newcastle at home. Fucking Van Dijk is going in goal, or fucking Dejan Lovren, or whoever.
You all have to have an outfield player.
You all have to have an outfield for one of the games. Outfield player in goal.
Yeah.
So I've got 2, right?
Yeah, I've loads now.
I think for one of those 3 matches over the Christmas time, you have to nominate which match you're going to play with a pudding in the cloth. So instead of a ball, you're using a pudding in the cloth.
You can't do that.
Right?
You can, right? Because you can harden it, right? So that's one. So you have to play, and everyone's thing. And also, every game on Stephen's Day, right? With a break from tradition, all teams have to go on the absolute rip on Christmas Day, right? Everyone. No excuses. There's absolutely no crying off now. You have to go. You have to drink at least 15 points on Christmas Day, right? Every single team. And then they have to go and play the matches on Stephen's Day, because that to me will be wondrous, right? Because given how clean everyone is at this stage in terms of sportsmanship, I want to see them all absolutely dying with hangovers on the pitch.
Yeah. Right, Dan Austin says, if you get past extra time and penalties, it's pistols at 10 paces followed by a poetry standoff. Right, I'm all over that, right? The gaffer has to come on for at least 15 minutes of the game, can be any position, but must participate in at least 15 minutes by the end of the game. Says Ashley, which would be sound. Manager's just coming on, right? No offside. Nunez would be top scorer, says Ron. I like it. Christmas trees for goalposts. Christmas trees for goalposts.
Offside isn't Nunez's problem. Scoring goals is his problem. And same with Diaz as well.
Close-up camera on Basuma like a Blair Witch, big snot bubbles. Says, I don't even know what that means, Red Steve, but I read it. For the 3 Christmas games, you get 4 points if you win by 2 goals or more, and -1 if you lose by 2 goals or more. I like that one. Any assistant, says John Halton, any assistant manager or coach that enters the technical area has to be dressed as an elf or similar. Right? I like that. If you shoot so hard that the ball flicks the back of the net, you get to kick it back in. You get 2 goals for it. Rolled up tinfoil off the turkey as a ball, says Emma. Play with flyaway balls, says Ron. Like it. There was another one. Here. My one is, right, people love putting up lights at Christmas. Yeah, loads of lights on that gaff and all like that. I think the goalkeepers, right, should have a button that they can press only 3 times during the game. Usually if they're in a 1-on-1, the keeper's bearing down on them, and he hits this fucking button, and the whole fucking stand lights up like fucking neon Christmas shit everywhere. And the striker's like, what the fuck is going on? But the striker doesn't know when it happens. The keeper can just go, fuck, I'm in trouble here. Bang, hit it. Ball's coming over. Fellas are free header. 40 million LED lights shining at him. I think that would be great. But it has to be in a Christmas way. It can't be just fucked up and say it's done. The more displayed, the better. Christmas music blaring out for the entire 90. Which is be into that. Mariah Carey, you just lose your mind.
No, do you know what? If you get a penalty, it's like the MLS penalties where you have to run from the halfway line and everyone just waits. Remember them ones?
Yeah.
The old MLS ones.
What about on the theme of throwing snowballs, right? Because Christmas, white Christmas and all. What about all penalties must be taken by the keeper with their hands?
Remember goalkeeper wars, Phil? Do you remember the 2 goals?
So they throw it at the goal.
If the match is a draw, that's what happens. They just wheel the warm-up goal out. Wheel the warm-up goal down, do the goalkeeper wars if it finishes a draw.
Yeah. I love that. Any penalties in those 3 games, your keeper comes up and he throws it from 12 yards.
Dead.
Well, it's like throwing snowballs.
No, I think he has to drop kick it from the edge of the D, right? So he can't go inside the penalty box. He has to drop kick it from the edge of the D. We'll see now how good the lads are at doing the old drop kickies.
And my last one is right, for added on time, which there's loads of now. For added on time, right, before every game, you basically do Secret Santa with the other team before the game, right? And you're to bring in a present with you. Now, it has to be, there's a maximum size to it and a maximum weight. But when it comes to the injury time, the referee blows and says, right, we've 7 minutes left. You all pass each other your presents, but you have to hold them with you while you're on the pitch. So they just run around the pitch for the injury time with that Secret Santa presents. I think that would be deadly. What do you think?
I've got a very festive one. I think all the corner flags should be replaced by Christmas trees.
Right. Red Steve says, put the floodlights on, strobe, smoke machines, keepers on ears. I think that would be brilliant.
Christmas trees for corner flags. Imagine trying to take a corner with a Christmas tree in the way.
Yeah.
Because the way it comes out at the bottom.
Yeah. And even if it comes right out the bottom, you still have to take the free from the triangle. So you're lying down on the ground. It's like trying to get a ball from under a car.
It's something all golfers fucking now, Gav. Something all golfers now. How the fuck am I going to get me club onto this blade?
Yeah. Well, you know when you're young and a ball under a car and you be under the car, your legs swinging underneath it. That's you trying to take a corner in the Premier League now. Just for these 3 games.
I'm going to show my age here, right? Yeah. But for those 3 games as well, the goalkeepers are sellotaped to a long plastic stick that the fans have to control like a Sabutio goalkeepers.
Ebbett says, if you get a corner and you answer a Trivial Pursuit Science and Nature question for a chance to turn it into a penalty.
What a game. Trivial Pursuit, what a game.
Killings over it. Anyway, I just thought we'd throw it in at the end because why not? It's Christmas week. I think there's some fantastic ideas in there. Do you reckon if I wrote these out, gave them to Everton fans who no doubt are due another trip down to the Premier League to say corrupt, and then just leg it. Could he drop that in to dart me? Just throw it in the letterbox while he's there, boys. Yeah. So there you go. Tune in for much more of this during the week when we just not ours talking about football. But yeah, that's my idea.
Well, I think that, Gav, that was a good idea, and I think they should definitely adopt the Christmas trees, the Sabutio goalkeepers, the floodlights, because if the floodlights now with Sabutio goalkeeping sticks, I think that would be a great one, because the goalkeepers are quite tall these days as well, right? So when they put their hands up, they can touch the crossbar. So there's a certain level of coverage. Imagine like you just had a load of fellas had to turn Allison. Just turn him.
Or do you know what they could do?
Do
you know what they could do, right? They could put like say with like on 85, there's about 10 minutes left because of the injury time. They bring out 2 full Christmas dinners to the side of the pitch, right? And then a big lotto ball comes up on the screen, right? And all the players, like, so say Liverpool and Arsenal, you'd have Liverpool in red balls in it with all their squad numbers on it, and Arsenal in yellow. And the things go around and the 2 numbers come up. It could be 2 Liverpool, it could be 2 Arsenal, it could be one of each. And when they come up, a siren goes off, it's a big announcement goes off. So it could say like Gabriel and McAllister, and the 2 of them have to just go and eat their dinner. They just have to eat a dinner while the game is going on. But it'd be brilliant if the same 2 got 2 taken up. Yeah, just sitting in the technical area beside the VAR camera, just sitting there scoffing into a Christmas dinner, trying to get back on the pitch as quick as they could. That's what I'd love. Yeah, I think that might be my favourite, actually.
I think that would be, well, that's not a bad show. Anything that you could do, or Bailey's drinking, like anything that's festive. I go with anything that's festive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, festive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be throughout the match, Gav. It could be like the managers are able to hit a random button 3 times each, a bit like timeouts in American football, but in this instance, but the games themselves have to be festive. So like that, you have the dinner eating competition. You have maybe a Bailey's drinking competition at some stage as well.
Yeah.
But the managers can only throw it in, and if their team loses, they lose one of their timeouts. So it's like that's.
Sorry, very last one because I know Davo has to go. Right. What about if, for argument's sake, again, whatever time during the game you want, I'm not really arsed. Once I see this happening, I'm happy for it to happen in the first or the last minute. But again, a lottery style thing, right? But what happens is if your number comes up, you have to run over to the side, and Jeff Shreves is standing there. I don't know who he's working for now, but Jeff has a new job now, right? Jeff's back. So Jeff Shreves is standing there, and he plays 3 notes of a song from.
You have to guess it.
Yeah, from Now That's What I Call Christmas, right? Right, and he plays 3 notes, and you have to guess it. You have 10 seconds to guess it, and if you don't guess it, 10 minutes in the sin bin. And this happens every 10 minutes.
Or what about if you have a free kick, you have to do charades, and if the wall guess it within 30 seconds, the free kick is reversed.
Yeah. Voided. Yeah. Null and voided. The free kick's null and voided because they guessed Jaws 3. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So you get a free kick on the edge of the box, right?
Yeah.
The other manager presses his button for the charades button, right?
Yeah.
Saliba steps out and says, "I'll do it, lads." Right?
I'll do it. He gets fed in.
He gets
referee
the card.
Referee gives him the card.
Ref gives him the card. Right? Weekend at Bernie's. Right? 30 seconds goes up on the clock. He tries to do a film. Yeah, boom. Weekend, whatever the fuck. Arsenal manages to get it. Saka stands up, miraculously goes, "Weekend at fucking Bernie's. Fair play to you, Saka." Penalty to Arsenal.
Yeah, there you go.
I think this is amazing. Right? Okay.
That's it. I'm going to leave you all, and Gav and Davo now. It's been great. Some great suggestions we have in there. Gav,
I'm going to keep this going in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning. Tune in. I'm going to keep this going.
You've got a whole range of games that you can add in to do what it is. Thanks for everyone for all the comments and stuff for joining in tonight. This is my last one for a bit because next Monday is Christmas Day. I'm not doing a show on Christmas Day.
No, either will I be.
I'm not in the country the following Monday. So I won't. I'm going off to visit P. He doesn't know yet. I'm just going to surprise him. He won't
be in.
He'll be in Colombia.
He'll be on Sky Scanner. Hang on a second.
As soon as the Ryanair flight heads towards Barcelona, starts to come down, Pete just loads all the family in the car, just drives the opposite direction. Where are you, Pete? France. Yeah.
France.
Yeah.
It's anywhere. I'm not,
I'm going to dream the film.
Yeah, so I'm gone for a bit. So and then I'll be back to Monday after that. So that's Monday after the
No,
New
you won't,
Year's.
because it'll be New Year's Day on the Monday, the following Monday.
No, that's what I'm saying. I won't be there on that Monday. So you've got Christmas Day.
Yeah, so the
Monday.
8th. Let's see on the 8th.
Yeah. Let's see on the 8th.
Right.
It's when the break starts, Gavin, we can start
Yes.
thinking about what games you can play during the break.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, tomorrow, 10 o'clock member show. It's going to be all about football rules at Christmas. Because I think some of them are belters there, and I think we get more in the morning as well.
Super. That's great stuff. Right, that's been the show. I've been Phil. That's been Gav. That's been Davo. Good night, God bless. Talk to you next week. No.